Hey guys, so here we're looking at how to rewrite equations in the form y equals k times x, okay? And k is our constant of proportionality. So for both questions 1 and 2, we need to determine the constant of proportionality. Keep in mind, guys, when you're given an equation and you need to determine the constant of proportionality, notice here y has to be by itself. So there shouldn't be any number other than 1 in front of the y. Okay? So if we look at the first example, right, we have 8y equals 16x, right? You might just think, oh, because the 16 is next to the x, the constant of proportionality is automatically 16. No. Notice that there's an 8 attached to this y. We don't want this 8 next to the y. We want just y. So in order to do that, if you look here, even though we don't see a multiplication sign, this is technically saying 8 times y equals 16 times x. So to make this side just have y, we have to do the inverse operation of multiplication, which is division. So I'm going to divide both sides by 8. Because when you're working with equations, when you're doing the inverse operation, what you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So when I divide 8 divided by 8, that just becomes 1y. And then on the other side, I have 16x divided by 8. So if I just do 16 divided by 8, that gives me 2x. So my constant of proportionality is not 16, but 2. So k is equal to 2. Okay, so likewise for the second problem, notice that we have 14y equals 7x. We need y to be by itself. So in order to do that, we have to get rid of this 14. So in order to get rid of the 14, we have to do the inverse operation. So since this is 14 times y, we have to divide both sides by 14 so that y would be by itself. So when you do that, 14 divided by 14 is just 1, so you're left with y equals 7 over 14x. But this can be reduced to y equals 1 over 2, or 1/2 x. Or if you want to write it as a decimal, you can do the decimal as well. Y equals 0.5x. Right? All of these answers are correct. You just need to know that they're all equivalent. So k will be equal to 1/2. You could also use 0.5 or 7 over 12. Any one of these are okay. Okay, but notice here, notice now, it's not 10y equals 7 over 14. It's not 16y, it's just y by itself. So when you're determining the constant of proportionality given just an equation, you have to make sure that y is by itself first, then the constant of proportionality, the number that's next to the x, that will be your constant of proportionality, okay?